because I wanted to be international and I want to have a wide appeal.
You can see the gears moving, right? Like they look up.
They'll be like, I can't. I don't sound like the newscaster.
Exactly.
And then one of the producers scolded me. Why are you using English? Just use Malay. It's okay. You want people to just flow.
Welcome to Qrious Culture, where we hear stories from documentaries and the people who make them. I am OKJ, and I'm joined today by our guest, Yusri Shaggy Sapari. He is the founder of Paradise Pictures, an award-winning production company that preserves hard work and captures moments that matter. He believes that every film is a time capsule, a belief that I sincerely and deeply resonate with as well. And to be honest, we may not have the chance to have this conversation today if it's not for the fact that during his childhood, Shaggy received a very special gift in the form of an audio tape recorder.
Yes,
we're going to talk about that and a lot more, but first, Shaggy, welcome to Qrious Culture.
Thank you.
Is this your first time on a podcast and interview?
This is my first time. I really appreciate this. I really love what I do. And sometimes I can't stop talking about it.
So we're going to learn a lot more about you today because we're going to talk about your 2019 documentary, Trailer Boys.
That's right, yeah.
Now, for those who have not seen it, how will you describe that film?
It's a film about adult fans of trucks. So, it's a film about a bunch of truck drivers. And when we say truck drivers, right, everybody assumes it's old guys. But when I tell them that the truck drivers are in their 20s and early 30s, people are always surprised. And I want them to see what kind of people are doing these kind of jobs. Who are the people behind the trucks that we see every day on the roads?
So before we talk maybe a lot more about Trailer Boys, I kind of want to just get this out of my system.
What is it?
You see, when doing research, there's one story that you keep bringing up, which is this tape recorder that your dad gave you.
Yeah.
And I'm hooked by that because that is one of the first devices that I've ever owned from my own father. And so for you, why did that particular device lead to you doing documentaries these days?
Because when I had that tape recorder, it was such a magical box, right? You can go around and record anyone saying anything, and then you play it back to them. So I used to disturb my grandma and record her talking, right? And then later on play it back to her and scare her lah. But I think above all, after a while, I realized that this device is able to retain memories. So things that happen, you can record, and then it becomes something of a memory. So for example, if you see the scene where there was the barbecue scene with the family and all that, if you have grown up experiencing that, that will be an entry point for you. And if that format of family gathering changes, at least we have this record that we have in hand that we can show to the subsequent generations.
Speaking about the barbecue scene, that was just one of the many scenes within Trailer Boys where, as a documentary storyteller, I know when I saw those scenes that this isn't as simple as it looks. Because those conversations, they're so intimate.
Yeah.
Like, I know for a fact that you have to spend time to gain their trust in order to have the opportunity to shoot those. Is it difficult gaining their trust?
Trust is something that is very difficult to earn. And trust takes a lot of time. So I went into the project knowing that I'm going to spend a lot of time with the group and getting myself familiar with everyone, getting to know them at least by name one by one, and then know what are their quirks, what's the energy in the room. Join them for all kinds of events. For example, they do a lot of charity events, food distribution. Join them for that. Join them for their small team gatherings with their own family. See how they're like. See how they express themselves. And put yourself in a place where you are there not to judge or understand, or more like to just observe and see this is what somebody else's life is. And also, because I'm approaching a group, which is a club. So this club is a truckers club. I cannot straight away go to one member and then, can you do this for me? Because then everybody will get suspicious. I need to get access to the whole club. I need to get accepted by the entire club so that they feel safe around me. So they can be themselves.
And this is before any cameras were rolling.
Before any cameras were rolling, I was already spending time with them, chilling, walking around when they're doing their charity work. Yeah.
Do you feel that language helped you in terms of building those relationships? Because it feels like you're new to this, you're a stranger with an agenda, right?
Yeah.
To convey that story.
Correct.
Did your proficiency bilingually help you in that? Because this is a very bilingual film, right?
Correct.
The conversations, that's what I appreciated the most. It feels like you are like our surrogate.
Yeah.
I can step into your shoes. All the hard work that you have done in earning their trust, now we get this once in a lifetime experience to be with these people at that particular point of time in their life.
Aku nampak muka sekali muka kat situ.
Muka kau?
Reflection. Bukan muka apa sah?
Oh,
Did language help you in forming those relationships so that you could do this documentary?
Yes, definitely language plays a big role in earning people's trust when you're making a documentary. Sometimes I do feel a bit of a loss when I want to do other types of documentaries. For example, I want to do like a documentary about hawker culture. Then I don't have access to the language, right? I feel like I cannot get people's true feelings. And truth is, in Singapore, English is a working language. So for majority of Singaporeans, right, when they use English to speak, it's a different persona. When they use their mother tongue to speak, it's a different persona. So tendency is when you're able to speak to someone in their mother tongue, in their native language, there's a warmness to it. Yeah, and they are able to also give you more nuance in their communication. They can tell you, they are able to articulate themselves better and show what they really feel. And English, maybe in English it doesn't really sound that elegant. Sometimes it sounds more elegant in Mandarin or Malay or Tamil, you see. That's the beauty of having to do a bilingual documentary.
Sunday, Singapore mah. Singapore tak ada duit habis.
Kena kerja 7 hari sah.
Ha?
Kau kerja 7 hari.
Sekali-sekala.
Language also forms a form of kinship lah. Not only language, you see, even within our pillars of language in Singapore, your Mandarin, your Malay language, your Tamil language, right? You still have those nuances inside the language.
Yes.
Which is the subcultural slangs that you won't see in the textbook. That are only being used with people when they are from a certain subculture within the race itself.
Dia masuk dalam ambil dari tepi ya.
Now, as directors of our own documentaries, it is our choice on whether we want to include ourselves in the documentary. And you could see a version of Trailer Boys where you do not hear Shaggy's voice at all.
Yeah.
You decided that this was the first time that Shaggy was acknowledged.
Introduced in the
That
film.
was the first time.
Yeah,
And it's very interesting because for me, even though that this is only a few minutes into the film, there's already a level of intimacy. I'm going to use this a lot because it's something that you have worked so hard in getting.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did.
And was this something that was intentional when you're editing it, or was this something that it just felt so natural? Of course, I would put this inside. What was your thought process when editing these moments in?
I think also to tease in the fact that I will appear more and more throughout the film. I also like to explore people's relationship with the camera and what it means to be under the gaze of a camera. And him being mindful of my presence is him being mindful of the client, right? So I wanted to include that in, of him being mindful. He doesn't want me to get caught. So he's just being a bro. Like, hey bro, you go inside here, make sure that you don't cross this line, later someone will chase you out or whatever. Go from the other way. Yeah. So that was I mean, now that you pointed out, it does show that I was slowly introducing my character or the audience's character into the film.
I genuinely feel that with that audience's character, like you are the surrogate. You
Yeah.
allow us to.
So he's like talking to the audience. Hey, audience, you want to watch, right? Okay, you better go from here. And then really the camera goes there and you feel like, wow, I'm sneaking with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bapak. This is going to 1 o'clock. So basically bapak aku dah tidur. Mum baru habis terlelap and stuff. So let's show you a sneak peek a bit of my life, my story. Like
This scene encapsulates this trust that Irfan has with you.
Yeah, it's
Right.
the peak. This is the peak of the film.
Yeah, it's for me when the moment I saw this, we have to get you onto Qrious Culture.
Oh, really?
Because there are many ways that someone could have made a film about trailer boys.
Anybody lah.
Right,
Yeah,
about anybody. But to have this shot, I know in this line of work, to get this shot, the amount of work and patience that you have to do.
Yeah.
To get to someone you're not asking him for
I'm
this.
not asking at all.
You're not asking at all, but it was a natural. I trust you. This is an extension. Would you like to come in even more into my personal space?
Yeah. So it's all. I mean, that's the beauty of documentary lah.
Yeah.
The truth of when you watch a documentary, the truth is about what's behind the film, not actually what's on the paper or on the screen or whatever. Anybody can record a video, to be honest. And now the technology has made it even easier for anyone to record a video. But I think to turn it into an art form, I'm not calling myself an artist lah. I'm just saying that to reach to a level where you're able to go deeper than the film, like the physical film or the physical screen, that's where the art hides. Yeah, that's what I feel. Like, what's happening here? This is not a film. This is a relationship. You know what? That's to me what I mean by documentary lah. Because if you just do things 100% correct, 100% in order, then you're very adamant about that, then it's a dictionary. It's not a film.
It's not an experience.
It's not experience. Yeah.
jom makan
Juga apa?
Hasil lemak putih.
Esok. Power.
Sometimes when you're on the camera, speak proper, speak fully. But in this case, the mood that you set is very clear. This is, you're stepping into a personal boundary, almost like friendships. And this is how friends talk. We don't we don't have to talk in complete sentences one.
No,
you
we
understand
talk
what I
in,
mean.
yeah.
And it seems like this one could also not be possible if you have decided that you're going to do the
In
entire
full
document.
English.
Yeah.
Yeah, correct.
So
Depends. Even if you want to speak it in English, it will for sure revert to Singlish, because that's the only way we can. Because when you say English, right, it tends to set people into a very formal mindset, or actually even mother tongue. Because when you tell people speak in Malay, then they're like, oh, I don't sound like the newscaster. Or Mandarin also, I don't sound like the newscaster.
but for some reason, when we speak bilingually, where we feel this, where we use the components of the language that is
Yeah.
that makes us human, that makes us comfortable. Is that what
Correct.
you're trying to
Yeah.
do with this film?
Yeah, that was what I was trying to do with just speaking in our native language, right? Helps us to be more intimate lah. Be more expressive. Yeah. It's the non-verbal parts of communication that are also important. That becomes interesting to watch. Non-verbal means your vocalization.
The how of what you're saying.
Yeah, the how you say it, when you say it. You know, because you don't want people to be in a situation whereby when they want to say something, right, they digest it in their head first.
You can see the
then-
gears moving, right? Like they
you don't want
look
that.
up.
You don't want people to do that all the time. You want people to just flow. So, I mean, the lubricant is getting people to speak in their comfortable language lah, whatever it is.
Had that been the case throughout the entire production, or was there a change in mindset where at
There
the
was a
start?
change in mindset, yeah. So at the start, I was interviewing in English. I had the same mindset of, you know what, I want this film to be mass appeal. So mass appeal means need to be in English so that everybody can appreciate. And then one of the producers scolded me, why are you using English? You are Malay, right? Just use Malay. They are also Malay, right? Just use Malay. It's okay. That's what people want to watch. You know? Then I'm like, oh yeah. Then that one took me a while to accept.
Why did it
Yeah,
take
so
you
actually-
that period?
Because I wanted to be international and I want to have a wide appeal. So I need to be in English. Yeah, so that was my thought lah. But if you fast forward to today, right? With Korean dramas and Korean pop being the dominant form of entertainment in many households, it does disprove the fact that language is a barrier. Language is not a barrier. Language can actually give you another dimension of entertainment or appreciation. Because people will say, oh, I love watching K-drama because I like how the language sounds. Or I like how Koreans express themselves in Korean, you know? So why not our own mother tongue? Why not? Wouldn't it be nice if one day someone from overseas says that, oh, I love watching Singaporean drama. I love how they speak in their different languages on screen. I love how they express themselves, you know? But people say that all the time about Korean dramas. Why not our own lah? Yeah. But that just proves to me lah, language isn't a barrier lah. It can be a bonus.
I have a curious question.
Yes.
Would someone be able to do Trailer Boys completely in English and still succeed the way that you have had with this film?
There's no way.
Why so?
Singapore has much more diversity. And people come from different all walks of life. So you cannot have a purely English speaking show and produce another Trailer Boys. Because the level of English that we expect as an audience, right, is the kind of English that you cannot get from a blue-collar worker. It's the kind of English that our ears are expecting from an average office worker, for example.
Yeah. No, I completely get what you mean, which is why I think I was so intrigued by the way that you approach this documentary, because there's so many cultural nuances. I don't understand this fully.
What I can say is foreigners are interested to see the real Singapore. If I twist it into a positive. Foreigners are interested to hear all our colourful languages. That means our Singlish, our Hokkien, our dialects, our Malay, our street Malay, our formal Malay, our Malay spoken by an Indian, Malay spoken by a Chinese, Mandarin in Singapore spoken with English, grammar, you know.
Sometimes mix.
Yeah.
So then here's the thing. Did your Malay proficiency help you in any way to do this?
I would say my confidence in Malay more than my proficiency lah.
What about confidence in, what is the difference between confidence and proficiency?
I feel that using a language, right, is two parts. You can learn as much as you want, but if you're not confident to use it, it will never come out right. Yeah. As opposed to, there are some people who only know a little bit about the language, but because they try very hard, they're very confident in trying, they're able to carry full conversations. So in terms of language, that's what I feel. So when I speak to someone and then they're like, I don't speak Malay, I'm not confident. But when you check their results, right, O level or whatever, you know it's okay, what? So how can you grow out and say, oh, my Malay is not good? It's a confidence issue lah. Because again, when you tell someone speak in this language, they will only compare it to the most formal version of the language. So when you tell a Malay person, can you speak Malay? They'll be like, I cannot speak Malay like the Malay news people. So I cannot speak Malay lah. Yeah. Actually, they can.
So if someone doesn't have that confidence, let's say there is a fellow Malay filmmaker, wow, I really want to do this. I'm not confident. Yeah, I got pass, but I'm not that confident with my language. How would you advise?
Just try a bit lah. Like
Just try.
Order nasi lemak. Try a bit. Makcik nak ni, nak hotdog, nak ayam, nak telur. Telur nak telur goyang. You know. Rather you start. So you start with the general thing. You want telur. You want egg. Then after a while you realize you very picky with your egg. So you want telur goyang. You don't want the overcooked one. You want the half cooked one. So the yolk is still dancing at goyang. So it's a progressive thing lah.
But then in Malay, if you struggle, is there a pride or an ego issue? I know that happened for me as well when I was learning Mandarin.
Ego, yes, of course.
Right, one of these things whereby I don't want people to judge me. You know, it's like if they see me struggle, then they will judge me whereby, wow, hey, you not Chinese How come these simple terms you also don't know? But you say confidence, and that's confidence in trying.
Confidence in failing also, you need to be confident lah.
So is that just having a thick skin?
Yeah.
Or
I mean, if you want to learn something, you need to have a thick skin. If you want to learn, part of learning is screwing up, failing. And if you're not ready to fail, then you will not learn anything.
LED will come out. LED will come out. No, the light will come out, not LED.
Light will come on.
Come out. On. Kau jangan kikik Asia. Aku tak belajar dengan orang.
this is a common trope that I hear even just amongst my peers, that when we fail in our language, be it English or our mother tongue, then we just, I got C6, or I failed on my English, or I failed on my mother tongue, and then we just take it as fact.
Yeah.
What do you think about like that particular mindset?
I think it comes with being a student, because at that time, the thing is that as a student, studying all this multitude of languages and having to do after school to catch up is stressful to them.
It is.
So if there's an opportunity to not care about one of the multitude of subjects that they take, right, to them it's a joyful feeling. That's why it's expressed that way.
You described that exactly, that's why I took CLB. At that point,
because to you it's like one less problem.
Exactly.
Right?
Remove one, I have more time to study the other.
I can do my pure science properly now.
Yeah.
You know? Because in Singapore, we tend to see things in terms of value. What value can it give me, right? So because mother tongue cannot earn money, that's the perception. It's not true. Mother tongue cannot earn money, so can relax. Don't stress too much on it.
Focus on your math, focus on your science.
Focus on your math, focus on English, focus on your sciences. Your humanities, those are more important. Maybe also because of what it's called, mother tongue means that we are only going to use it at home. So what? We're not going to use it to make a career out of it. You know, therefore, I can chill with mother tongue. When the actual fact is that retaining our mother tongue languages in school is actually a very far-sighted view of the government, so that we still have ties to the region. Still have ties to the region, and we are still relevant to our neighbours. You know, for me, I have Bahasa. Bahasa means I can speak to Indonesians. Bahasa means I can speak to Malaysians. I can speak to Bruneians. You know, so that's a powerful relationship builder within the region of Southeast Asia itself. Yeah.
And as your documentary has proved, it also allows you to access more of our own country and our own community.
Yeah.
You can access it in English, but with your mother tongue, you can go deeper or you can unlock moments.
Correct.
Right? Because there's going to be some things that, to be honest, even if I have the same heart as you, I may not get some of those nuances unless I too also participate dialogue-wise.
The new blogs over there, almost 500,000. 400 plus thousand, 300 plus thousand.
Apa perasaan kau kalau macam itu?
Kalau aku tak nak stay sini lah, sini too expensive lah.
Have you always been active with your mother tongue, like the use of your mother tongue before you did this project? Because it's a couple of years between secondary school education and documentaries, right? And some people, I interview them, once they get to poly, JC, ITE, that's when mother tongue completely stop. They maybe work very hard, get that A1, or maybe at one point in time, have that opportunity, join Chinese orchestra, Malay dance, Tamil dance, so on. And then after that,
I get what you're saying.
right?
Yeah.
So was this how was your use
like a
of
look
mother?
back?
Yeah, look back before this. How was that?
I think it got me started to realize. It got me started realizing that my mother tongue is actually powerful and there's a value in it. Because I was told by the producer, right? That's the way you sell your films outside. Yeah. Because Singaporeans, we always too proud of our English proficiency. Like, Singapore good, can speak English. English is our first language, man. When the Angmo say like, what language do you speak? They say, we speak English. Like, we're very proud of this. But when it comes to content and I would say propagating our culture, right, it needs to be in our mother tongue, or it needs to be bilingual at least. Yeah, because that's where you got another element of interesting reason for people to watch lah.
Hi, my name is Irfan. Right, today you're following me on a road trip on my work.
For those who have not watched Trailer Boys before, what do you hope that they can get out of that experience from watching it the first time?
I think the greatest thing that people can experience is just to be able to walk a mile in someone else's shoes. Yeah, walk a mile in someone else's shoes and just see them for humans as who they are. What are their dreams? What are their aspirations? What do they do? How much pride they take in their work? I think we don't often get to shadow even our own friends as they work to see who they really are. And this is just a nice little opportunity packaged into a film for you to follow the journey of a truck driver. I think from there you can gain a lot of empathy and understand that why every job is very difficult, or why every job comes with their own sets of challenges, what those challenges are, and then from there you can value the contribution of every member of society.
On that note, let me try to sell this opportunity, because for those of you who are watching on YouTube or listening on Spotify or anywhere you are getting your podcast, know that we have an upcoming opportunity where you can watch Trailer Boys on the big screen in full, because we have this special public showcase that's coming up September 2024. You can find all of the details at QURIOUSCulture.com, links in the description or on our socials as well. And finally, if you've enjoyed this episode, it will help us a lot into getting this show going into greater heights by simply giving us a like, a subscribe, and share it to those who care. We appreciate your time, and finally, I appreciate your time as well.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I appreciate it.